The snippets he released from this particular music video, they are questionable, and these are the things that are making Christians angry. But my question is, why are we angry? I'm not trying to create any controversy. This video is supposed to be short. I'm just trying to point out a few things I think you should know. Lil Nas has released his music video J Christ, and even from the preview you will see that there could be a lot of controversy and questions that need to be asked about the video. And aside from social media, there are a lot of Christians are angry. A lot of Christians are asking questions. Not only Christians, even Muslims are asking questions. Now, while editing, I would not want to put the images of the video or pictures on screen because of copyright. So I'm just saying them, and know if you're watching this, you have probably encountered it already. So let's cut to the chase. Who is this guy, Lil Nas, the musician? And from his track record, you can see that this guy's hands are not clean. Obviously they are not clean. Now, before you cut in this video, I had to go to his YouTube page and watch a couple of his videos again, and I remember from the very first time I watched Call Me By My Name, is it Montero now? Yes, I could not finish the video because it was so creepy and it felt like it was doing something to me, or it could do something to me. And based on his pattern, that's been the pattern of his songs. I think the only one that I know I have heard that really didn't have any effects in that sense was his very first video, Old Town Road or something. Yeah, I really can't remember the name of the this country style kind of video and music. Okay, and that one didn't really have any effect. But based on his track record and the videos he had released and music he has done since after that period, especially his visuals, they just give this kind of satanic vibe. Now, I said I'm not trying to create any controversy, but I realized that Christians are angry, and I said also Muslims are angry. But is it necessary? Isn't necessary. You might not necessarily agree with me on this, but I have to sit down and then do a couple of research and bring out some things that I felt there's no need for us to be angry about. There's no need for us to be angry about. If you watch that Call Me By My Name Montero video, starting from the very beginning, where something that is supposed to look like the Garden of Eden is depicted. Now, you might see that and say, why is this guy doing something in the similitude of the Garden of Eden? But no one knows what the Garden of Eden really looks like. Okay, you might have seen movies, in fact Christian movies that portray something like that, but no one really knows what the Garden of Eden looks like. Now, it's when you see it, no one needs to tell you that this is depicting the Garden of Eden, okay? Because it is obvious. The serpent is there, him under the tree. In fact, I was going through a documentary, no, not documentary per se, a write-up, and there was something written in Greek that is supposed to be the tree of life. You know, different things that will portray the Garden of Eden, but it isn't really the Garden of Eden. This might be a little bit controversial, beg your pardon, but I will call it simple art. Now, there are Christian movies that you kind of want to depict what is going on in hell. Then you depict, especially if you are African, you depict people wearing red robes, red overall, and the ambience of the place is red and there's fire all over. But no one knows what hell really looks like. Now, some people say they go to hell and they come back. That's a topic, for another kind of discussion. But that's not what I'm talking about here. Okay, so they're trying to portray something in the of course, when you see these visuals again, the first thing that comes to mind is, oh, this is hell. You can't see something that looks like hell and call it heaven, or there's no in between. Okay, but this thing could just be art. Don't be quick to judge me, okay? They could just be art, although they communicate something specific to you. Now, the same thing that happens when a particular kind of tune is played in church. Maybe there's a tune from a secular music, and maybe the instrumentalists they like the vibe and decide to imbibe it into praise. When something like that is played, of course, the next thing that will come to your mind is the secular music that was cropped from. There's a time in Nigeria, on this end of the world, there's I really can't remember, Olamide, there's this do so, like don't stop, shake it, something like that, okay? And you will see bass guitarist in church playing that tune, and the next thing that's coming to your mind is the lyrics of the song. So things like this, they are quick to draw our attention to what we have considered them to be familiar with. I believe you got that point. So this video that this guy has released, there's some visuals I saw on his Instagram page, and you can see that the last time he released a song was September 2022. Throughout 2023, he didn't release anything. What was he doing? I don't know. I think he was probably active on, I'm not sure he was active on Twitter, but he wasn't active on Instagram, or he cleared everything he had. I really couldn't trace it again. But what was he doing through the year? No one knows. Now, if this guy comes and says he's a Christian and does a Christian music video, no one has the right to question him, because no one knows what was doing in that space of 1 year. But based on his track record, you can't just come out and say you want to release something that is Christian themed, not necessarily Christian themed, and you want we Christians, or even Muslims in this case, to embrace it. It doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. Now, I went through his background and discovered that his father, Lil Nas' father, is a gospel singer, and I think he had some issues, from home. He wasn't close with his mom. He had some issues from home, and maybe that's what turned him away from God, away from the church, and he entered into whatever he's into today. Of course, we know this guy is gay. He has pretended to give birth. He even did a video on that. Almost a lot of his music videos have him playing multiple characters, and they are probably having some level of intimacy with each other. In fact, in the Montero music video, the serpent kissed him. I found those very, very creepy, and I couldn't watch. Now, the one that got to me the most was towards the end of the music video, where it was what's the word now? Where it was romanticizing Satan. Like, I couldn't watch that for long. Why would he do something like that? And at the end, he seduced Satan up to a point that Satan fell for him. He killed Satan, removed his horns, and wore Satan's horns. Now, that is, I'm not sure I've seen something as satanic as that before. I've not seen a visual as satanic as that before. Even during the was it the Commonwealth Games now, that they were worshipping the bull and whatever. It wasn't maybe something like that, but this was extreme. This was too extreme. Now, you can't come out after a year of no music and say you have given your life to Christ, and the comment he even made was he is about to get into his Christian era. See, this guy probably recorded this song in 2023 and shot the video, or had the idea of the video he had in mind while recording the song, and he definitely took his time to record that video. Now, the video had it definitely has a lot of green screen, it has a lot of effects, so it will have taken a long time to get the video edited. Now, you want to tell me that he didn't have all of these publicity stunts planned even while shooting the video already? Now, most people, what we don't know about movie or music or whatever is that most of them are, if you know what you are doing, you would already be planning the publicity even while you are recording, while you are shooting, while you are editing. The publicity strategy, you're already planning it. Now, you don't plan after post-production or after shooting, after production, that you say you want to start planning publicity. It's definitely going to be a failure. Now, he released a snippet on his sorry about that. He released a snippet on his Twitter page, and it was like giving a little bit of vibes about angels, about God. And what you wore on his clothes is, if God doesn't exist, then who is laughing at us? I really tried to fathom my head about that statement, but I really do not understand what it meant. Who's laughing at us? Like, what does it really mean? Now, this video is not to judge Lil Nas. I'm just saying, based on track record, this is what he has been doing. This is the vibe he has been giving off. It definitely doesn't appeal to Christians. He appeals to those that are like him and those ones who support him. But we We know we are not supporting it. Okay, now we comes with J Christ. Now I am looking forward to the video if he would be able to mention Jesus Christ in his video, because that J Christ itself is questionable. But let's not emphasize too much on that. Let's not assume things too much. I'm really looking forward to the video, and I'm going to stay awake to probably be while I'm editing this video that the music video is going to be out. I don't know if I would be able to do another video based on music video, but let's see what this looks like already. Now, the snippets he released from this particular music video, they are questionable, and these are the things that are making Christians angry. But my question is, why are we angry? First, he released a communion video where he sat down and said, I'm not going to put those videos. If I've not seen them, maybe you should find them. You can just go to YouTube and search Lil Nas taking communion or something, where he sat down and was drinking communion and eating bread and whatnot. And was drinking everything, a bunch packed in a plate here and there, and was drinking and eating, and he almost finished everything. Now, I think this is where we confuse it. That's why I had to establish the premise, which I did. These things, when we see them, the idea we have in our head, or what comes to mind, is what we have already been used to. But you see him taking something like that, what tells you it's communion? If you call it communion, then it's going to be communion. It could just be bread and grape juice or whatever, and he's taking it. But we know that the presentation he did is supposed to look like communion. So he's trying to appeal to us. Now, if we choose not to call it communion, it's not going to be. There are churches that don't have the financial capacity to get those tiny plastic cups that they use, and they use whatever they have, and people still take it, and the communion has its effect on them. First of all, before you can call anything communion, see, whatever you are doing in the Christendom as a Christian, it has to be done by faith. If you do not by any chance believe in what you are taking, you are wasting your time. Again, if it's communion, you have to believe that, okay, this communion, the bread is the body of Jesus, the drink is the blood of Jesus. So you have to take it by faith, and that's what classifies it as communion. Otherwise, it's going to be just biscuit, bread, and liquid. And that's the stunt he's trying to pull. He knows that the visual is giving us is going to communicate something. It's going to ring a bell or create an imagery of, oh, this guy is trying to mock God. Scripture says that God cannot be mocked. I think is what we choose to call it that it's going to be. Honestly, what we choose to call it is what it's going to be. Otherwise, it will just be bread and drink, or whatever it is he's choosing to take. And of course, you can talk about the robe that he wore. Not only Jesus wore that kind of robe or whatever. But the fact is, I don't have a problem with the visuals. Honestly speaking, I don't have a problem with the visuals. What I have a problem with is the motive behind the visuals, the intention behind the visuals. Everything, trust me, everything has an intention, everything has a motive. And if you choose to let it get to you because it's reminding you of something sacred, then you're wasting your time. Now, somewhere in the Bible it says, let's quickly look at that, 1 Corinthians 11. And I want to show you something, and I hope that you will listen and agree with me. 1 Corinthians, I like whenever I'm doing videos like this, I like backing it up. What's up with this phone? I like backing it up with scriptures. I don't want anything like you're talking talking from your head, or just saying things as it comes to mind. So quickly, 1 Corinthians, this phone is slowing me down. 1 Corinthians 11, then 27. Okay, talking about communion. It says, therefore, whoever eats this bread or drinks this cup of the Lord in an unworthy manner will be guilty of the blood and of the body and the blood of the Lord. But let a man examine himself, and let him eat of the bread and drink of the cup. For he who eats and drinks in an unworthy manner eats and drinks judgment himself, not discerning the lost body. Listen, it says whoever eats this bread or drinks this cup of the Lord. What makes it the cup of the Lord. It's by faith. Otherwise, you'll just be taking just any drink. And that's why you see men of God, before they take communion, they bless it. Otherwise, it's just going to be just any drink, just any bread. It's the cup of the Lord for a reason. Okay, now some people would think that, okay, because he's taking something that depicts communion, what does it say here? The somewhere, let me see. Okay, for he who eats and drinks in an unworthy manner eats and drinks judgment to himself, that will be judged because of that. Who says he's taking communion? Don't be deceived by the visuals you see. The visuals are not the problem. The what it's communicating, the intent behind it is the exact problem. Now let's move on to the next visual, and that is rapture. Okay, where he had a couple of people that are made to look like popular and prominent figures. I identify Kanye West, I identify Obama, I identify Oprah Winfrey walking down a staircase to heaven, to something that's supposed to look like heaven, that's kind of depicting rapture. Of course, when you see that, rapture comes to mind again. Again, the visuals are not the problem. The intent, the motive behind the visuals is the exact problem. Now, if you are saying that and it's communicating rapture, then you begin to get angry and say, what is he trying to say? Now, to me, even if you're going to mock us as Christians and take things that we consider sacred and do it anyhow, then try your best to do it accurately. Let's look at Matthew 24, then 40. Talking about the rapture, it says, and did not know until the flood came and took them all away. Let's look at 41, 40 to 41 or something. For 41, it says, two women, or from 40, it says, then two men will be in the field, and one will be taken and the other left. Two women will be grinding at the main, one will be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for you do not know what hour your Lord is coming. The Bible doesn't talk about rapture as people, oh my God, doesn't talk about rapture as people walking up the stairs to heaven. For God's sake, in the Tower of Babel, I think that's Genesis 12 or something, Genesis 12 or 13, even they tried to build something that got to heaven, but they couldn't. Now you're telling me that the rapture is going to have staircase that will lead to heaven, and people will be walking consciously, be walking and be smiling and be greeting each other and be jesting, walking to heaven. If you're going to depict something that's supposed to represent Christianity, at least try and do it well so we'll know how serious you are. But no, trying to represent rapture and you're giving us staircase with people wearing white robes and walking to heaven. Does that make sense? Again, it's we Christians that would probably overemphasize this and push the publicity for him. For God's sake, this guy, as I said, he probably cleared his Instagram page, and exactly a week ago, I think what date now? Today's 12th. A week ago is 5th and 4th. Yeah, that's when he started posting snapshots from Twitter, or joking snapshot of Tom Holland said this person said that, this person said that about his newly released songs. Then he goes on with the visuals, different visuals he was releasing. This guy had a publicity planned. Of course, he was going to create a subject, a topic for discussion around his music first, create a little controversy. See, and these are the things. Controversy is publicity. 100% controversy is publicity. You don't need to fight for it. You just do something controversial and people start talking about it, and when they start talking about it, it's going to push publicity. That's the second thing. The first thing was what was supposed to look like communion. The second thing is what is supposed to look like rapture. Then the third thing is the parting of the sea. Okay, there was a part where he had some people, it was tied to the cross, some people pulling him up or whatever. I want you to know that it doesn't, of course you know that it wasn't only Jesus that was crucified, but the cross has come to represent something sacred for Christianity, and one of the representations of Christ. When you see the cross, the first thing you remember is Christ. And I don't know which of the disciples it was it Peter now that said no, he wasn't going to be hung the way Jesus was hung, that indeed they now turned him upside down or something. Okay, so the cross itself, especially if it is done in the right manner, the horizontal line in that sense at the top and not at the bottom, if you know what I mean, the picture I'm trying to create. Okay, that's going to represent something sacred to Christianity, and of course that will draw attention. That will draw attention too. And the fact is that it wasn't only Jesus that was on the cross. Crucifixion on the cross used to be a normal thing in those days. In fact, I was reading just now that Saudi Arabia adopted it a little, where they would behead you first, then crucify you, in that sense, hang you on the cross for display after beheading you. Do not be deceived. Don't let the devil stir up unnecessary anger or whatever in your mind. This guy has a plan. Don't know what his plan is, and I'm not saying I know that I'm not saying I know where he stands now in the faith, but again, based on the previous evidence we have, we know where he is, obviously, and he doesn't even hide it. We know where he is. He did a video of a satanic shoe, and the what do I call it now? The talk is that there's a pint of blood or drop of blood inside the shoes, and he did a video of that, and he was going to apologize, a YouTube video that he wanted to apologize because of the shoe, and he started talking, and before that he transitioned to the video of him in hell in the Montero video. So we know where this guy is. We know where this guy is, obviously. Then the next thing is parting the sea. Not Red Sea now, parting the sea. When I saw this, I knew something was wrong with me, and that's why I said that if you are going to mimic Christians, you're going to mock Christians, the Christian faith, then at least try as much as you can. Put in the effort to actually study about it and do it well. Let's look at Exodus. Yes, Exodus 14:21. It says, then Moses stretched out his hand. First, let's look at the instruction that God gave him. Where do we find it? Okay, in verse 15 it says, and the Lord said to Moses, why do you cry to me? Tell the children of Israel to go forward, but lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea and divide it, and the children of Israel shall go on dry land through the midst of the sea. Then 21, this is what Moses did. He said, then Moses stretched out his hand over the sea, and the Lord caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all that night. Okay, let me look at 15 again. It says, but lift up your rod and stretch out your hand over the sea. Now, Lil Nas was holding a rod in this video, but you saw what he did. He struck the ground. That's what I'm saying. Even if you're going to mock Christianity, even if you're going to mock the Christian faith, study about it well and know that you do it well, so we'll know at least you are serious with what you are doing. But in this case, he's doing something, and that's why if you don't know the word, you will see some things and get unnecessarily angry. Fine, he's trying to steer anger in us. He's trying to depict something that's familiar to us, a story that's familiar to us, but he did it in the wrong way, the very wrong way, and he hit the ground with the rod, and the sea parted. But based on the story we think he's trying to portray, that was not the idea. Okay, the sea parted in both ways, but the instruction was raise up your rod, lift up your rod, and stretch out your hand over the sea. If he had done that, maybe we'll ask questions, but still, it's not the visuals I have a problem with, it's the motive behind the visuals I have a problem with. Okay, then the next thing, that's enough of the communion video, the rapture, the parting of the sea. The next thing is the admission letter to Liberty University. Now this one got me asking questions, and immediately I saw it, I knew this was questionable, and then I had to do a little bit of research on Liberty University, and I found some interesting things. Okay, this is the letter here. It says, dear Monto Il, his name is Il, right? Congratulations, you have been officially accepted to Liberty University for the fall 2024 semester with a dual concentration in Christian leadership and biblical studies. This was his caption. I know some of you all hate me right now, but I want you all to know I'm literally about to go to college for biblical studies in the fall. Not everything is a troll. Anyways, I'm a student again. Let's go. Fall is actually not until September 23, 2024. So, if you ask me, this again was a publicity stunt, because you can't just come after 1 year and expect all of us to embrace you the way you are. You are not Rihanna, for crying out loud. Trust me. You're a guy. Only ladies have. This is not even gender bias or something. Only ladies have that sort of appeal. I don't know any male artist that would go for 1-2 years, then come back and hey, everybody's excited. Oh, this person is back, and they go to listen to his music. And you don't pull any stunt, publicity stunt or whatever, and everybody. I really can't think of any male artist of that sort. Only female artists probably have that kind of power, and probably just secular artists now: Nicki, Rihanna, then Adele, Beyonce. Now I'm thinking of it, even Adele herself, right? So you have to create a little bit of controversy. Now you can't give us your admission letter for something that is not until September. Of course, this was publicity stunt. Okay, and the letter continues. It says, as we seek to build a campus community exemplifying strong academic achievement and an unwavering commitment to the Christian faith, our admissions committee is dedicated to selecting students of the highest caliber. We believe you are one of these students, and we are confident you will be an outstanding addition to our student body. Selecting students of the highest caliber, and I discovered that most of the students from this university, they get most of their students from the online community. Like, you can enroll in online courses rather than physical, on-site campuses or something like that. Okay, now they're picking students of the highest caliber. Now, are they really after the impact, after the fame and the money? I really do not get. Okay, I'm not judging this university. I know little or nothing about them. And it says again, at Liberty, we specialize in preparing students to succeed, not just as professionals in the workplace, but as citizens who glorify God in their calling and communities. I'm coming to that. So during your time at Liberty, you'll be mentored by faculty who bring real-world experience to the classroom and take a personal interest in the success of the students. We are committed to investing in the lives of our students, helping them realize their God-given potential. Montero, the entire Liberty family congratulates you. Now is your time to train as a champion for Christ. I think that's actually Liberty University's slogan, raising people as champions for Christ. Okay? And I say sincerely, Jerry Falwell, President. Now, Jerry Falwell is the founder of this university. Okay? He's the founder of this university. And he was a popular, prominent televangelist before he died. Okay, so they call him Jerry Falwell Senior, and his son, I think the senior died in 2007. Then the son is Jerry Falwell Jr. But the interesting thing is that this Jerry Falwell had some issues, some scandalous issues with a guy and his wife, and he resigned in 2021. So Jerry Falwell is not even the president at the moment. I don't understand. I really do not understand how far some people would go to push their publicity, or to be controversial, or to be the talk of the town. I really do not understand how far some people would go. And the fact that I'm having to sit to do this video means it's working. Right? Means it's working, because they've created enough controversy, and we have to come and put the Christians' mind at rest and settle it and make sure this media thing again doesn't get to them. So Jerry Falwell is not the president at the moment. He resigned. The father died Jerry Falwell Senior died in 2007, and the son took over, Jerry Falwell Jr., and he resigned in 2021. Now the current president is called Dundee Costin, and he assumed office on July 1, 2023. Now, I do not know when this was signed, but it's definitely not in 2021, where Jerry Falwell was still the president. Now, at this point, Dundee Costin should be the president already. Or does Liberty University do it in that way that you, no matter the year, it's always the very first president that is in the admission letter, and the signature also in that letter? Professional, is that how it's done? I'm not claiming to know the details of this, but even Liberty University, before this Don DeCostin took over, it had a lot of questions, a lot of rape allegations, and some people trying to die down. Like, how do I put this now? I did a couple of write-ups about that. You have rape allegations, and you try to stop people from reporting your sexual violence, or there are people that survive sexual violence, and you try as much as you can to stop people from reporting. I'm just going to read something briefly. It says, and this is something I saw on USA Today. It says, victims of sexual assault felt dissuaded by Liberty's administration reputation for punishing sexual assault survivors rather than helping them. Okay, so the survivors were punished rather than being so they themselves have a questionable character. Now, all of this to say that I don't think there's any reason for we Christians or even Muslims to get angry. He's definitely trying to depict us, but it's not us. At least let us know that even if you are now in the faith, let us know that you are in the faith. There's a way you can help us know that you are now in the faith, rather than coming and doing this music and even title it J Christ, and you're giving visuals that will ring a bell and will depict some things that we hold sacred in the Christian faith. It doesn't just make sense. It doesn't make sense. I think that will be all for now. And I want to tell you, maybe one of these days I will do another video on satanic music and trying to be careful when listening to them, especially now if they will sing their songs, and of course it will have its own effect on you, but they will now go further to do the visuals, so the visuals are stuck in your head forever. The tune is stuck in your head, the visuals are stuck in your head. There are some music you should not expose yourself to. Now, I'm not saying I know what the content of this new music is or would be. I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I'll probably be one of the first to watch by 6 a.m. the moment it comes out. But I want us to be careful. Whatever we see, whatever comes out, I want us to be very careful. Very, very careful. If it's not something you listen to more than once, make sure you do that. If something you can start and not finish, make sure you do that. The visuals are honestly going to be very interesting and entertaining, but try to look beyond the visuals. Try to read between the lines in that sense. Okay? And again, there's no need for we Christians getting angry. Whatever we see there's no need for us to get angry. There is no need. You're trying to depict Jesus, trying to depict his life, trying to depict Moses. What else was he trying to depict? Trying to depict Christians taking communion. If we choose to call it those things, then it's going to be those things, and it's the essence of what he did. It's going to be ticked. It's going to feel fulfilled. It's going to feel accomplished. Now he says not everything is troll. Of course, it's not troll. In the video with the picture with the admission letter and its caption, it said not everything is troll. Of course, it's not trolling. Just using us in that sense. It's not trolling. It's probably just using us. Now again, I said I don't have a problem with the visuals. What I have a problem with is the motive behind the visuals rather. So be careful. Be careful with the kind of music you listen to. Be careful with what you allow Satan, the devil, plant in your hearts. Again, and if you have not seen my last video, please go see it. Where I explained explicitly the endpoints of your hearing and your sight. Okay, how the devil plants something inside of us, and we don't know those things are inside of us until time comes for us to manifest. And before we know it, we start wondering, where did I learn this? Where did I learn this? And boom, it occurs to you, oh, I saw this somewhere. Please be very careful. Be very careful. There'll be more videos like this, and I look forward to sharing them with you. Okay, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. And if you think there's anything I missed out, or there's something I do not know, I didn't do my research well, or I don't have enough light on, please just let me know. You don't have to be a troll, as Lena said, you don't have to be a troll. We can just talk about it and more lights. Okay, we learn from each other. So that will be all for today. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Please do subscribe. All right, I'm David. You can call me General D, and I will see you in the next video. Don't forget to keep it real and peace.